What is poppin', people? We are back with yet another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Wi-Fi battle. I know I still sound like I'm in a cave. That will be fixed shortly. I'm gonna have some soundproofing on the walls and we're gonna be all Gucci, all right? Now, we actually have a pretty good battle here, which is crazy, I know. We really don't get battles that are that great on Wi-Fi anymore, at least I haven't been. But this battle, pretty good. You can see it by the length of the battle that it took a while. I'm sure that has to do with the Hippowdon and the Tapu Bulu, but that's fine, whatever. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you guys end up enjoying this battle. Anyways, I decided to lead off with my Magearna because if he decides to lead off with Lando, I just click Ice Beam and that thing dies, right? But he actually leads off with Latios. I know he doesn't want to stay in here, so I'm not even going to think about anything here. It's a very obvious switch to Scizor. I'm just going to switch right out to my Tornadus, which carries Heat Wave. I wanted to U-turn because the Heat Wave, quite frankly, is extremely obvious as well. But I didn't U-turn because, honestly, the switch in doesn't really matter here. If he decides to bring in Lando, I can just Hurricane next turn. This Tornadus is very unique. It has max special defense and max HP. So I'm not worried about Latios either. So I just decided to Heat Wave in case he decided to stay in, but he switches out to Latios, which is fine. But as you guys can see, the Surf does literally like no damage. And on top of that, with a Regenerator, it's gonna do literally no damage. So I'm gonna U-turn out and go out to Tory Lanes. You know what I'm saying? I had to name the Suicune Tory Lanes because if it's Shizzy's favorite Pokemon, it's probably Tory Lane's favorite Pokemon too, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm doing? Anyways, if you don't know, Tory Lanez was accused of stealing Shizzy's song. Anyways, so he goes out to his Tapu Bulu here. I knew he was gonna bring that in because the Suicune kind of forces it to come in. So I'm gonna go out to my Chris again, my Tornadus, and I'm gonna go for the Hurricane here. Unfortunately, I missed, but I know he can't kill me. It would have been great if I hit there though, because he wouldn't have been exposed to what item I had. But it's fine. I'm gonna be able to kill him with another Hurricane. But like I said, he probably would have assumed that I was Assault Vested up until he saw my leftovers, which he's gonna see now, which is pretty unfortunate because I could have, you know, kind of bluffed or made a couple more bluffs more in the battle later on. And then here on top of that, had he not been able to hit me with that Draco Meteor, because, you know, if I had actually hit the Hurricane and killed him when he switched in, I probably would have been able to take a hit from Nidoking and I probably would have stayed in because of it. But because of that, because he actually was able to get the Draco Meteor off, I'm forced to switch into Hippowdon. I'm going to actually take this opportunity to get my rocks up because why not? Rocks are always good. He's going to switch out to his Lando. I kind of wanted to Toxic on the switch, but I wasn't quite sure if he was going to stay in or not. You know, he could have just been Life Orbed and Ice Beamed me right there. I'm sure he didn't want to risk it. I'm sure he didn't want to risk dying there. But honestly, since the grass is up, he probably could have stayed in and done some damage there. But I'm sure he just wanted to get up his rocks, or maybe he knew I was going to get up my own rocks and wanted to set up his own rocks at the same time. So he's going to go for rocks himself. I'm actually going to go for the Toxic here. I don't have Roar on this thing. I have Slack Off, Toxic, Earthquake, and Stealth Rocks. Standard set for Hippowdon. I actually have not used Hippowdon in forever though. Like, real talk. Hippowdon's not the best Pokemon. I think if I had a Lando here, it might have been a little better, honestly, but maybe not, I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna switch out now because I'm pretty sure he's gonna go for either U-turn or maybe HP Ice or something like that. If he went for HP Ice, I wouldn't have done much because I am especially defensive. But he goes for the U-turn, so that was good on his part. And he goes back to Nidoking, so he knows he can kill me from where I am, and I know he can kill me from where I am. So I want to get these rocks off the field, but I don't think this is the best chance to do it, especially because he's probably faster than me since I am max special defense and max HP. So I'm going to go out to Tory Lanes. I think this is the funniest nickname on a Suicune. And I'm going to take the Ice Beam because the Ice Beam to me was quite obvious. So I take the Ice Beam. I want to see what item he has. I don't quite know for sure. I've only been taking resisted hits from him, so I haven't been able to see how much damage he's really doing. He knows he can't kill me from where I am. So I'm going to go for the Scald, just trying to burn whatever comes in. And he actually switches Tapu Bulu back in. So that's good for me because I get the burn potentially. Hopefully. Do I get it? Oh, you know I do. I get the burn. So that's great. I don't have to worry about this monster. I can basically switch in my Tornadus whenever I need it now. I don't need to worry about that anymore. Because that was one of my biggest worries. I want to be able to switch into this Pokemon specifically, but if he has Rocks up and just the pure strength of Tapu Bulu, then he doesn't really have to worry about much. But because he's burned now, he's going to be forced to do things like this, go for Nature's Madness, and I can put pressure on him because I am a Tornadus. If I use Hurricane right now, he dies, easy. Also, he doesn't have anything to switch into a Hurricane, but I'm going to actually take this opportunity to go for the Defog, because I really don't want the rocks up. They're really annoying for Tornadus to keep switching in and out of. And honestly, if I have rocks up on my side of the field, it kind of ruins his regenerator ability, right? So I'm gonna go for the Defog, get the rocks out of there, even though the rocks are beneficial to me as well, obviously. I do think it's more beneficial for me not to have rocks up, because now when I switch out, I'll actually come in with more HP instead of just switching in the rocks and being basically at the same amount that I was before. So I'm gonna U-turn out because I know I'm faster, because my leftovers went first. And that's always how you tell if you're faster, by the way. Usually, if it's not a speed tie, your item will activate first. But anyways, I'm gonna go out to my Magearna. Now here I made a mistake, okay? Not really a mistake. I just figured, okay, he's a pretty good player, right? So I switched my Magearna into a Landorus. So I just figured that he would think that I would stay in and go for Ice Beam, so that he would, I don't know. I figured that my motives were obvious. I figured that he wouldn't expect me to switch in a Magearna onto a Landorus unless I had a clear reason for doing it. So basically what I'm saying is I could have just clicked Ice Beam and killed that Landorus right there, but I missed my chance because I was scared that he would switch to Scizor and start setting up on me or something. But anyways, he goes out to his Greninja. He's gonna go straight for the Hydro Pump. I figured that he would do that, so I'm gonna go out to my Tory Lanes. I can basically tell from the amount of damage this Hydro Pump does to my Suicune that he is indeed Choice Specs. And he also doesn't have a Life Orb, so for that amount of damage to come out of a Greninja onto a Suicune with a Water move with no Life Orb, I'm assuming he's Choice Specs. So he's actually gonna stay in here and go for another Hydro Pump. Not quite sure what he was predicting there. But that's fine. I'm going to go for the rest. This is actually a Crocoon. If you guys remember Crocoon from like 4th gen, it's Sleep Talk, Rest, Scald, or, you know, I guess back then it was Surf. But now it's Scald. And then, of course, Calm Mind. So I'm going to go for the Sleep Talk right now as he brings in his Tapu Bulu. I don't have rocks up, so that's kind of annoying, but whatever. I'm gonna go for the Sleep Talk and actually get a Scald here. So I do get a little bit of damage off, which is very valuable. I want this Tapu Bulu to die just because it has the potential to erase my Tapu Lele's terrain. So that's the main reason I want this thing gone. So I'm gonna actually switch out, and he also switches out. I'm gonna go out to my Tornadus, I believe, just to try and take a hit from that thing. But I don't want to take a Specs Hydro Pump from this thing when the rocks are up, like I said before. If the rocks weren't up, I'd probably just stay in and go for Hurricane. Or maybe I'd switch out, I don't know. But I can't afford to let this Tornadus die because it's so valuable in this battle. So I'm actually going to go out to Magearna expecting the Dark Pulse. But he goes for Spikes. So that kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I didn't expect him to go for Spikes because I know he's choiced. But this is going to allow me to actually go for the Floor Cannon. Now I wanted to kind of switch into, I don't know, I figured that I could potentially switch into Tapu Lele there, but I know he has that Scizor in the back. But honestly, the problem was that he had Scizor and Greninja alive, because if I go for Psychic here against Nidoking, you know, he could easily switch one of them in and then, you know, start doing some shenanigans. So I decided to stay in and go for Floor Cannon. And then here, I went for Floor Cannon again because I knew he wasn't gonna expect me to stay in, because it's kind of obvious that I'm choiced now, right? So I knew he wasn't going to go for Earth Power. I knew he'd probably go for Ice Beam there. And then here, I expected him to go for Earth Power, but he actually goes for Fire Blast. I didn't expect him to go for Fire Blast over Earth Power. I just assumed that his set is Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Fire Blast, and Ice Beam. Maybe he has Thunderbolt. I was actually expecting a Thunderbolt earlier. But either way, he goes for Fire Blast. And that's not going to be enough to do anything to me that matters. So I'm going to go out to my Chris now, expecting an Earth Power. But he actually goes for Sludge Wave now. So I'm kind of confused here. I'm expecting him to go for Earth Power, but he's going for Sludge Wave, which doesn't actually matter that much. I did actually end up taking the Sludge Wave pretty well, if I do say so myself. And I say pretty well because I didn't die, not pretty well because I didn't do a ton of damage. But here, I just switched in SpongeBob. I don't know why I named this thing SpongeBob, by the way. But I switched in SpongeBob just to die because I figured he'd go for Ice Beam on this turn because he has no reason not to. But as you can see, my SpongeBob actually didn't die there. So I wonder if I could have used this thing to take a hit later on in the battle, but it's okay. I go ahead and let my Hippowdon die, because it doesn't really do anything in this battle besides set up rocks. It doesn't really wall anything on his team too badly. But here I'm going to go out to my Tapu Lele finally, and I'm going to go for Moonblast. Now, I don't know. I would not have taken this chance if I was him. He switches in his Greninja from full HP, by the way, and just eats this Moonblast. And I know he was expecting a Psychic. I know he didn't want to just throw his Greninja in the trash like that. But in my mind, Moonblast would have killed the Nidoking from where it was anyways. And maybe he actually got thrown off by my nickname. Because I'm telling you right now, this Tapu Lele is absolutely choice specs. It is not choice carved. But anyways, I'm going to go back out to my Suicune because I don't think that his Scizor can do anything to it. Unless he goes straight for the Bug Bite, right? And even so, I don't think I need Suicune anymore. It's unfortunate, but you know, I gotta give something up here, and I don't think Tapu Lele is the one I want to give up. He goes for U-turn. It's not gonna kill, definitely not. And it's really unfortunate, like I said, because Suicune actually kind of beat his entire team if I got it going, but I just wasn't able to. So I don't know if in his favor, I don't know if it was in his favor to let his Greninja die over his Nidoking. But either way, I was going to get a big hit on something. I was either going to kill Nidoking, take a chunk off Scizor, or kill his Greninja that switched in, and anything else that wanted to switch in. So now I'm going to bring in my Tapu Lele again. I'm actually going to go straight for the hidden power, just in case he wanted to switch in his Scizor. I knew it would kill Nidoking. I knew it would 2-hit KO Lando from where it's at. And obviously it would kill Scizor if it switched in. So that's why I went for hidden power there. So now I'm kind of in a predicament though. I have 4 Pokemon left. One of them is pretty low. I'm going to bring in my Tyranitar now that I haven't even brought out this battle yet. And he's really not going to get the chance to do anything. Like, Tyranitar literally didn't get a chance to do anything just because of the situation I'm in. He's going to U-turn out, does a pretty big chunk. And then obviously he has that Scizor. He has other Pokemon that are still alive that could easily take me out. And on top of that, the terrain actually disappears, so he can easily just go for Bullet Punch now. I can predict this and bring in Tapu Lele, but I don't think it's worth. So I'm just gonna stay in, let him kill this thing, and I can actually save that kind of play for later on in the battle because I haven't done that. It's pretty ballsy to do that sometimes. So now I'm gonna bring in my Tapu Lele now that the terrain has disappeared, just to get it back up. And I'm actually going to go straight for Hidden Power Fire, just because I know whatever he brings in is going to take a pretty big hit. And he actually brings in Tapu Bulu. That's fine. I'm pretty sure he brought in Tapu Bulu just to get rid of the terrain. So I'm going to Hidden Power here. Now, he makes a pretty big mistake if you ask me. I think he should have doubled here because my switch was so obvious. I'm assuming he just thought I was going to stay in and kill him with HP Fire because the hazards are up, which makes sense. But I think that this is the opportune time to bring in my Tornadus and go for Defog. And I'm pretty sure he didn't consider that, considering he went for Horn Leech and not the double switch, you know? So I lived the Horn Leech, of course, because he is burned. And this is going to give me the perfect opportunity to go for Defog, which is literally all I need in this situation. I don't care if Tornadus dies after this. All I need is these hazards gone, because I need to be able to bring in Tapu Lele, and he literally cannot stop me from doing it now. So he switches into Scizor, which I found a little odd. I found that I thought he would have just killed me there, but honestly, I think he should have just tried to stay in and kill me there, or maybe he thought I'd kill him first. I don't know. But the Defog is going to be pivotal in this battle. And then here is the ballsy play of the battle. He didn't have to go for Bullet Punch there, but I knew he would because I have Heat Wave on my Tornadus. So if he actually stayed in and didn't Bullet Punch and I went for Heat Wave, he would have died there. So I'm actually going to double switch here because I knew he'd bring in Lando or Tapu Bulu to die as Death Fodder. And actually, he can actually Bullet Punch Tornadus because it's off the ground, by the way. But like I said, if I had not switched in my Tapu Lele there, and he Bullet Punched my Tornadus, I would have absolutely lost the battle. So I just figured that I needed to get Lele out to get the psychic terrain up at the very minimum so that he couldn't bullet punch anymore. He's actually gonna go for rock slide now. It's not gonna kill because I have all this HP. Tornadus did fucking work in this battle, my dudes. Holy crap. But like I said, I felt that the ballsy play needed to be made at the end of the game in crunch time. So that was pretty clutch that he actually ended up going for bullet punch. But like I said, if he didn't go for bullet punch and I stayed in, he dies to heat wave. So he probably felt forced to bullet punch in that situation. But I'm going to take him out with a heat wave. He's going to bring out his Scizor. At this point, since both of my Pokemon outspeed his, and I actually have another Pokemon in the back, he's going to go for bullet punch and kill me, by the way. All I got to do now is send out Tapu Lele, click HP Fire. If he switches out to Bulu, all I got to do is switch out when he brings Scizor back in, let him kill my other Pokemon, and then bring in Tapu Lele and click HP Fire. So at this point in the battle, he really cannot do anything at all to win. So that's going to be my victory. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of outplaying here and there. I love having good Pokemon battles still to this day, you know. I do talk a lot of shit about this game, but at the core of the game, it does come down to knowledge and intuition and, you know, basically just experience, honestly. So, fun game. Almost makes me like this game again. I think my last Pokemon was Magearna? I'm pretty sure it was Magearna. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This was a very long battle, so I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back tomorrow with some Showdown and hopefully a Wi-Fi battle. Got some stuff to do this weekend, but I'm going to be watching some Twitch streams, going to be watching some March Madness, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, see you guys later. We'll be back tomorrow. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe. I love you all. Thank you for supporting me. Goodbye.